Hi. Okay, so there's this timeless thing that has always happened and probably always will happen. People get together and we fall in love and we get married, right? And we start out early on in our relationship with these innocent expectations for our relationship and for marriage. We all say at the beginning, oh, that'll never happen to us. But then our expectations that feel normal to us don't end up being met because they're formed kind of in innocence or ignorance, maybe. In me, it was ignorance. And over time, then, there's this daily routine and sort of drudgery of everyday familiarity, over years, and the grind of life, which it can be a grind in ways, right? That impacts our relationship. And it ends up hard to appreciate and love each other the way we want, the way we started out, which means that later on, we may not meet the expectation that we had at the beginning for getting the love we want at the level we want. Oh, I'm Gary Moreland. So we end up, because of all that stuff, we can end up short with each other and kind of bugged by each other more than we want. A certain level is normal, but sometimes it's more than we want. Now, it can stay a low level annoyance, or it can grow and multiply to where someone isn't very happy, or it can grow way worse than just a little unhappiness. It's the nature of life and love and marriage for it to get complicated as time goes on, and the complications make it harder to love. And usually no one tells us this. No one warns us that this is what happens and here's what we can do about it. No one told me, no one warned me. I didn't know. I just knew I wasn't going to be like that. Right. For a long time, there were things I didn't like in my marriage. I liked Brenda, but I didn't like a lot of feelings and ways that we behaved. And the most stress and pressure I have ever felt in my life has been in arguments with Brenda, where every cell in my body is like hating every second of it, and where I just wanted relief. I just wanted to know how to fix it, but I didn't know how. And I didn't realize the whole time I was actually digging a hole in my marriage without realizing it, digging a hole with Brenda. I didn't realize, I didn't understand how relationships work. That when someone does A, it causes B. Because there's no marriage school, right? I could have used one. So for a long time, I didn't know that sticking up for your rights doesn't seem to turn out the way you expect. I didn't realize that I have a choice to believe the best or worst about her. I have a choice to be defensive or not. I didn't realize that. I have a choice to be offended or not, or to argue or not, or to get mad or not. I didn't realize you always have a choice. But I didn't know any other choices other than what I was doing. I didn't realize that what I think are my normal reactions, those reactions were actually me being a bottleneck for God's grace in my marriage. So, in certain areas of marriage, I was just hoping and waiting for things to change. And of course, I assumed that meant her changing. It took me a long time to learn some basic things that don't really seem like they would make that much difference. They're so simple and basic, but they do make a difference. And we all know most of this stuff. We just don't think it's that important, but it is. And so most of what I've learned has ended up this simple. Some things I can control, and some things I can't. And I had to learn the difference. I had to learn to release what I can't control and embrace what I can. And one other simple thing there really are some cause and effect laws in relationships. If you do A, B is going to happen. If you have this attitude, say these words, behave like this, it leads to B. B could be good, B could be bad. But the only way I get to choose the B that I want is in what I do with A. So there are two things that I can do right now, even just a little bit, that make a difference with me because of how things can get complicated and wanting them to be simpler. Can I give up putting my energy into trying to change someone else? Can I give that up? They may need to change, but I can't make it happen. I can influence, but I can't control them. If wanting and needing my spouse to change weighs, let's say, 50 pounds in my soul, can I just set down even 10 pounds of that? Just setting some of that down can start to feel different. And second, can I cooperate a little more with how relationships are made to work? That A and B thing. Can I cooperate with the relational cause and effect laws, call them laws, that I mostly already know? And instead of going against how things are made to work and getting those consequences, can I cooperate a little more with how my relationship is made to work and get the benefits? That's helped. Those two things have made a big difference for me. And maybe that helps you too. I would really want it to help you too. And I'd love to know what you think. Maybe you have a question, or maybe something you've just heard here that I said maybe bugs you or confuses you. Whatever it is, you can respond. If you got to this video from an email, just hit reply on that email, and then you can share with me. I would love that, of course. I will totally, absolutely read it. And of course, you can share this video with anyone you think that it might help, okay? And then we'll talk again soon.